Hey there, Julia Rose here. I pray this message finds you at the precise time you need it. As always, take what resonates with you and leave the rest for everyone else to find, as these are timeless collective messages, okay? We're going to be getting into new moon messages for each of the elements. And so we'll get right into it. We're going to start with air signs: Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. What messages does the new moon have for you? What do you need to know right now? I feel like, yeah, just as I was hearing upside down, a bunch of cards came out for you. So the first was the Ten of Wands, Eight of Pentacles, King of Cups, the Devil, Eight of Wands. Wow, very interesting. And the Seven of Cups. You just don't give up, do you? Your spirit guides admire that about you. Your spirit team, the people that you serve, admire that about you. Okay, I feel like you've been through some pretty rough setbacks, recently. Recently. And I think I think you might have been worried about some sort of negative energy being sent your way. I don't really feel like that's the case here. I feel this is more just your will being worn down because of feeling like the odds have been stacked against you. Like you've been having to be consistent despite this like mountain of obstacles. You've been having to stay level-headed, focused, and clear emotionally, kind of steady, despite all of these fears that have been coming up for you. And has been Spirit has been impressed. They are aware of how challenged you've been. Spirit's aware of how challenged you've been feeling in these energies, especially leading up to this new moon. Something about you leaving something or someone behind here, or a pattern about the way you let people treat you. This also feels like it's about boundaries. The number 808, 789, or 1008 could be significant. 108 as well. And 777 is here for you. Yeah. A lot of throat chakra activations for you. I feel like you've, yeah, a lot of interesting, a lot of improvements in your communication that Spirit is really proud of. Yeah. Just got a confirmation on that. And actually, that was just a voice message that I got. And I feel like this is Spirit putting your voice on the spotlight. This is Spirit passing you the mic, asking you to step up, speak out for what you want, okay? And it feels like you just you just have this unshakable faith. Maybe you don't feel like your faith is unshakable, but you need to know, okay? Your faith is unshakable. We also have 1515 here for you. Ones and fives. Yeah, we're not going to take those. All right, Spirit. But it really just feels yeah, a lot of solar plexus activations here with your throat chakra. What does the new moon need you to know? Why have you been challenged in this way? What has all of this been serving? My hair's so long. What has all of this been serving? Okay, I feel like on the one hand it's proving to you the things that you've let go, that once you're made aware of certain things, you can't deny what you see anymore. You can't deny the vision that Spirit gives you. And this feels particular as it relates to your boundaries. I feel like you've been tested a lot in your relationships, and you've been given a lot of experiences of contrast, of people being really receptive to you and people really walking all over your boundaries. and making you feel like a doormat. That's coming out here. I feel like Spirit has been giving you all of these contrasting experiences to show you what you're not going to tolerate anymore. Because if there are people that can see and recognize your value, doesn't that mean that that is the standard? Just because people mistreat you doesn't mean that you have to accept that as, well, then that's just the way it goes. I feel like Spirit's been trying to, yeah, we have 888 here, because you're supposed to be holding a lot more responsibility than you're holding right now. But these are like training grounds for you, wherever you're headed. That could be a promotion, that could be a new career, something about a vision you've been given. Yep, lots of throat chakra activations here. That's wild. Because it feels like this is something that you have really been holding out for. Like you didn't think that you had the ability to step up into the vision that you've been given, but that's not true. That's not true. You wouldn't have been given that vision if you weren't going to be given the training and the tools every single step of the way. You're just assuming that the vision means that it's happening now. And that is true in a sense, but you're missing the important factor here that everything you learn up to the point during which you actually execute your vision is meant to be a part of that vision. It's not just the end goal, it's everything you learned and everything that you became along the way to be the person that could execute that vision. A lot of you didn't have the skills or resources quite yet for what it is that you want, but you will. But you have to see that this is why you're being asked to put together everything that you're being asked to put together right now, and focused on why you need what's in front of you right now. That's why you need to be focused on it, okay? Because it all serves a function, it all serves a purpose, even if it's not something that makes you entirely comfortable right now. Because you're supposed to be more comfortable by the time that you get to this point. You're supposed to be more comfortable. 888 didn't come out for no reason. You're supposed to be materially stable, financially stable by the time you are ready to execute this huge download that you got, because you need nothing in the way. At that point, you're going to need to trust that you can just go and build the whole thing, execute the whole thing, complete the whole whatever it is, knowing that you have nothing else to worry about. But everything that you're going to be learning, everything that you're going to be doing, I'm talking, this is long-term vision. This is years, maybe decades down the road. You're going to be given more detailed descriptions in that vision that Spirit gave you, that God gave you. As you start to complete more and more of these lessons, as you start to understand all of this stuff that you're doing right now actually does mean something. And what a shame to think other than that. What a shame to think that your impact is so small. Because it's not. You just couldn't see your own value, so life was reflecting back to you what you believed about yourself. Unstable, can't hold a responsibility, only at everyone else's beck and call. You have been going through a lot of really hard truths lately so that you could be really honoring who you are, really honoring the truth of your value, the truth of your presence, the power of your voice. You didn't quite believe in that yet. So Spirit has to give you contrasting experiences that make you choose a more positive, more healthy belief in yourself by standing up for that, by calling these things out, by proving to yourself that you know what you're worth. That's what a lot of this stuff has been about, you walking away from. The timelines you've been, yep, can't even make that up. Air signs. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. You can't even make that up. That's justice on the bottom of the deck. And in this deck, and no other Rider-Waite tarot, is it the number 8. Is justice the number 8? But it is in this deck. You have 4 8s. We're literally just missing one. Which one are we missing? The 8 of Swords. Well, fucking right. Because the blindfolds have been ripped off with all these truths that you have been made to accept. I wanted to say adopt, because I feel like they're so foreign to you. That makes me so sad for you. Like, to actually genuinely believe that you don't deserve to be treated with common decency. Like, somehow you're less than everyone else who thinks that they're worth that. Get out of here with that. You know I'm gonna tell you straight. I'm gonna freaking. I don't fucking think so. I don't think so. Neither does God. Neither is this moon playing with you. You need to be setting intentions, and you still have tomorrow to do this. You still have actually you have until Friday to do this. That's what Spirit is saying. You have until Friday, October 24th, to be taking advantage of this new moon. Set some intentions around building healthy self-worth and confidence in setting your boundaries. Dare I say, even confidence in daring to dream, confidence in setting goals. Confidence in knowing your worth, air sign. Yeah. Confidence in making decisions. No more of this back and forth. No more of this wishy-washy. Well, yeah, but maybe, but no, but yeah, but maybe, but no. Why are you denying this opportunity, these opportunities that Spirit has given you? Why are you denying these opportunities that Spirit has given you? Two of Swords. You just wanted to feel free again. You just wanted to feel like you didn't know all the stuff you know. Because seeing the truth is a lot to handle. Holding truth and holding yourself accountable to your truths and to the truths that the divine has bestowed upon you is a lot to handle. Which is why all of these manifestations that you've been calling in couldn't happen right away. You had to be ready to believe the truths that you have been given. You were not ready. You were not ready to see yourself the way God sees you. You were not ready. But you sure as shit are getting ready, aren't you? Empress. Threes could be significant to you here. You could be seeing 333 or threes in sequences a lot. 1033 as well. I'm seeing 833 and 337. Air signs. For God's sake. 6 of Wands. Ace of Pentacles. Are you kidding me? Do you know how many people get chances at life the way you do? Why are you still hiding all of these blessings that God's given you? Why are you still sitting on them like, it can't be me? But why not? It wouldn't have found you, and you wouldn't have had it. You wouldn't be given these gifts if you weren't supposed to use them. It's time for you to step out of hiding. Because your success is here. It's here. When you start to honor the way that God sees you, as abundant, whole, perfect, complete, inherently worthy and deserving, and innately abundant, innately creative, innately significant. That's all I have for you, air signs. It's a lot to meditate on, but you've got this. We're going to go fire signs, Aries, Sagittarius, and Leo. What does this new moon need you to know? What does this new moon need you to know? Yeah, interesting. You got big things coming to you. Life-changing things on their way. Yep. But you can't see it yet. You're not supposed to. Mm. This is how the cards flew out. You're not supposed to see it yet. And what can't you see quite yet? I want to say the completeness of your calling. You can't see everything you're here to do yet. And I feel like the things that you have seen have scared you. Why is the devil coming out first for my fire signs? As a message from this new moon. I said it to the air signs, but I'll say it here again in case you're not watching this whole video through. You have until October 24th, this coming Friday, to take advantage of manifesting with this new moon, in case you haven't done anything yet. And we'll get into some intentions that you can capitalize on with this energy. 3 of Wands and 7 of Wands. I feel like for some of you, this energy of the devil is about feeling like you're going somewhere you're not supposed to be because it feels like that far of a stretch for you. But what you are mistaking as trespassing is actually the fear. The fear of trespassing in these new directions is actually going to be the qualification of your entry. Does that make sense? It's like what you are not wanting to accept as part of your vision, as part of your mission here, is supposed to be central to your calling. And this feels like it's more than one thing, let's be honest. It could be 3. It could be 3 different things that you feel like you're supposed to do here. At least in this season. Maybe your whole life. I don't know. But we got more on that. Yep. 9 of Pentacles. This is key to your independence, key to your stability. And look, that's actually 3.5 things above ground. That's 3 things above ground. We've got the seed kind of in the middle where you're bridging all these things together. But yeah, this is supposed to be 3 wholly independent but and uniquely functioning but harmonized aspects of your life. I think you're bored. I think Spirit knows that you get bored when you're not challenged and you don't have the opportunity to do different things. You could be seeing 369. We also have 1010 here again for this group, and 3737. I'm going to wait on those cards because that feels like it's a message for later on. But this is really interesting because it feels like you're not quite ready. Yeah. Was that the third one? No, it was the second one. Yeah. Yep. It's like something here that actually scares you and doesn't feel very aligned. There's something that you don't think is aligned with you, but it is. I feel like this is in your career, but it also could be a skill or a gift that you have been afraid to take advantage of and really put to use. For some of you, this has to do with your creativity, but you're not seeing how much happiness and magic there are in this thing that you've been running away from because you've been afraid. This is not a relationship. This is something central to healing your identity, actually. Star on the bottom of the deck, Spirit just showed me. Can I see? It just still doesn't feel. I feel like I'm picking up on your resistance here, just like, ugh, like I get that this is where I'm supposed to be going, but it just feels like, oh, there's something arduous about this. Like it's not all it's cracked out to be. Cracked up to be. I don't know. It's just like there's something here. I almost wonder if it's gonna be easy. And I think that you can tell that it's gonna be really you can tell how much flow there is for you there when you step into that identity. It's just something that you never thought would happen. There's such an element here of like you keep getting called to this thing that you feel like is off limits to you, but it's not off limits. It's that it's challenging every single thing that makes you feel inadequate in you, that makes you feel less than capable. It's making you feel like because you're out of your area of expertise that it's going to be impossible, but that's not true. You just have to stick with it and see it through. Okay? You just have to stick with it and see it through. Knight of Pentacles and the Sun. And that is absolutely light at the end of the tunnel. Like, what does the new moon need you to know about this? Yeah, like this is going to be a message for everyone here, but you're all going through like a really deep shift in karma. Like your karma is changing. That's what this new moon is telling you, okay? Your karma is changing. Wheel of Fortune again for this group. Okay, there's my third three. I told you there was going to be three. Three of Pentacles, like the three above ground here, and the 9. You can't see everything that's going to go into this. You don't see what it's going to do for you yet. And Spirit's like, please, please just trust the process. The Emperor trusts the process. The Three of Pentacles is about, okay, well, if I just follow this, if I do this, if I do this, then sticking to that will see you to your outcome, see you to your goal. And look who came to peek out on the bottom of the deck again. The Empress. Aries, Sagittarius, and Leo. What does this new moon need you focused on? I'm hearing partially your warrior spirit, but really? your fearlessness, like your belief in your dreams. I feel like, okay, okay, Spirit, hold on. I feel like somewhere along the way, you doubted the magic. I feel like you're not where you expected to be, but this is something in a less than light way. Like you thought things would be different right now. That you'd have more answers, that things would be more steady, things would be more stable. But you live life with God. So you're trying to make sense out of things when you've already, in a human supremacy way, when you've already given your life to God. Which means that you're not always in control. And that you have given over, you've given permission to let the divine guide you to your fulfillment, which means that you surrender the belief that you know everything about yourself, about what you want, about what you need. There are answers for you in this next season. You know, this is a really good time to be manifesting answers for yourself too, fire sign. That's too many cards, Spirit. This is a good time to be manifesting answers. If you've been feeling stuck and directionless, unable to overcome fears that stand in your way, ask for determination. Ask for clarity to know how to recognize what is really for you. Ask for discernment. Ask to trust more. Ask for serenity and serendipity. Some of you need to be leaning on your dragon spirit guides a little more. They have answers for you too. You could be seeing ascending numbers. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 on my timer here. 1234. 999 and 1999. Yeah. You have become disconnected from your childlike creativity, your sense of play and wonder. Like there's something here about a creative stagnancy that just hit the solar plexus. A creative stagnancy. So this could be some rigid beliefs in your identity that are holding you back from really understanding how much potential there is in this new opportunity for you. And again, it could be more than one thing. I was seeing 3. You had 3 things here that you might be in like, what? No, not I. So ask this moon to make it a little clearer how all of this is supposed to work out. To show you the road, to show you the roadmap. Ask for instructions. Ask for instructions as to what is next. And you might be told and you might not be, but you might also be told in ways that you don't expect to hear. You've been thinking in very linear ways. You've stretched your mind and created new neural pathways, but there are different ways that your spirit guides want to find you. There are different ways that your ancestors and God want to connect with you. And this is a turning point for you. I'm hearing it's like a pivoting in how you're going to be able to receive information. You are going to be stretched to your limits and push past them to break the mold of who you have become that is so familiar to you. I like that message for you. To break the mold of who you've become, because there's newness here for you, the World card. Breaking free. That's all I've got for you, fire signs. Water signs, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. What do you need to know? What does this new moon need you to know? I told the other groups, and I'll tell you too. You have until October 24th, this Friday, to manifest with this new moon. That's what Spirit told me. So it's not too late to set your intentions. Okay? Well, all right. Water signs, this is a nice shift. It's about freaking time. Wow. Okay, tell me a little more, Spirit. I feel like you guys have been focusing on resting. You guys have been focusing on taking care of yourselves and really uncovering and nurturing what your needs really are and why certain situations make you respond the way that you do or make you forget yourself. Certain connections, certain people make you forget yourself. And you have to, I'm seeing you meditating on why is it easy for you to remember your worth and your value in certain situations, and why is it harder? Why do you revert back to old ways in front of other types of people? Because it might be them specifically. You know, you're empathic. So you can pick up a lot of what's going on inside someone else just by being near them, right? That you're not always aware of. But you've been doing a lot of work on your identity. You've been doing a lot of work on really healing the beliefs that don't give you a fair assessment. I'm hearing like you're giving yourself credit for certain things where you might not have given yourself credit in the past. And this is actually creating harmonious balance with your work-life balance here. And so it's actually coming into balance. That's nice. Good for you. Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. We had the Six of Pentacles come out with the Eight of Wands, the Ten of Cups, and Two of Swords. I feel like water signs, this is so interesting. It's like you're finally finding a rhythm. You're finally starting to see movement in your life. Opportunities open up. You're seeing the actual fulfillment and realization of your manifestations. You're seeing prayers that have been answered actually be answered in real time. Or you're starting to see in your mind's eye the answered prayers that you've already been living out. But why did that come to the okay, I was like, well, why did that come with the Two of Swords? Oh, And we had death on the bottom of the deck. So that feels like, okay, that's making a little more sense. Well, with the Two of Swords here, it feels like that's earth-shattering to you. Like, oh my God, what? Wait. You manifested something and then you got to live the experience of it. You're noticing this in smaller and really like subtle ways to really large manifestations. And like I feel like it's interesting because you would never consider yourself to be a really great manifester. Or this is something that you've been working on, the disbelief. But it's like you're putting the power of miraculous works back into divine orchestration instead of feeling like you have to make things happen all the time. So this feels like, yeah, a surrender and serendipity again. You might resonate with the fire sign reading. Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. I feel like yeah, look at that. That's a lot of stuff you're processing. That's a lot of stuff that's falling apart and being shaken up, turned around. And oddly, I feel like it's because things are going your way. I think it's partially the realization of things actually going your way. Okay, yep. Ace of Cups. I feel like you've been healing your relationship with the divine, with God. I'm hearing a whole new world, Ariel, or what's it called? Little Mermaid. Thank you. All right. Yeah. Because I feel like your relationship with the divine has changed so much in the last few years. And this has been something that's been healthy for you, but also troubling at the same time. Because I feel like for some of you, there's been moments of like, it feels like a bucket of ice water going over your head and like shaking you out of something. And it feels like you've been longing for you had a feeling that you had that came and left. Like you had this feeling and it came and left. And it was this intense bliss of like, oh my gosh, this is it. And I feel like you've been trying everything in your power to get that back, but you feel so disheartened. You feel so disheartened at times that you're like, well, God, I know you're there, but like, what happened? I used to like actually feel that though. Why can't I feel it anymore? And it feels like you've been left out in the cold. You feel like you've been left out in the cold. Okay. And there's a lot of healing that had to happen during the time that you were in that kind of closeness. I want to say it was like a fusion or a bond that you had. It's not that that's gone. It's just that it's different now. And I feel like you feel like this is worse now. But that's why you're having these realizations. That's why this new moon is telling you, like, no, you never lost your faith. You never lost your surrender. You never lost your ability to manifest and co-create or your ability to see the divine the way that you once did. It's just that at that time you were holding on for dear life. And in that time, God showed you how to stand back up on your own 2 feet. And so now you're walking again without that support. You're walking without that constant, like, okay, we're carrying you. And so it feels like you're on your own, but you're not. It's just that you have the strength to stand on your own 2 feet again. You found God when you did not have the strength. And that was a time of deep healing for you. Tell me more about this. You couldn't see. All you saw, you couldn't see. You were blind. All you saw was darkness. So God had to show you how to see the light. Not putting rose-colored glasses on things, but in those times you had to learn how to see God in everything, even in the darkness. And now that you have the strength and the knowing, you don't need that intense cushion when you weren't, that you needed when you weren't as strong. And you might be like, I'm not that strong. Well, I'm here to say that God thinks so, because you wouldn't be here still listening to this message. Yeah. Your heart was hurting in a way that you couldn't handle on your own. And so you were supported. You could be seeing 111. What do you need to know? Yeah. This new moon is here to tell you you are strong. And to be spiritually strong takes a lot of courage. It takes a lot of courage and a lot of willpower. The strength that you have is hard to come by. To really know what it is that you're living while you're living it is not something most people can handle. That's why we're all made to forget. But your plan, this life was different. Your plan was to show people, your plan is to show people that it's safe to see things as they really are. Even if they don't know that that's what you're here to teach them. They might not understand the things that you say, but your presence, the literal vibration that you emit just by existing, changes people. It changes them. Just by existing where you exist, literally just by you breathing, you change the way people exist. So this new moon is here to show you that you never lost your faith once you found God. The feeling of that intense, I want to say it's like a vigor or it's like a passion that you had. It's not gone. It's just you changed. And that's why it was there for you in the first place. That's why God held you that way. So that you could stand on your own 2 feet. You asked for that. the things that you've been wanting, you've been getting. This moon is here to show you just how deep that really runs. The power of your manifestation. Maybe your intention is, new moon, show me how much I can create. Where else should I be focused on creating right now? Where do you need my light? Because your mission is as much for your fulfillment as it is for the healing and consciousness raising of everyone you touch. The sun gives light and warmth and life. So what's next for you? What are you going to do? Water sign? What are you going to do? I think that's all I have for you. Yeah. It's time to learn something new. What are you going to do with the realizations that you now have? What are you going to create next? Where does God want you focused? 1555. I'm going to leave it there, water signs. Earth signs. Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. What do you need to know right now? What does this new moon need you to know right now? I feel like there's just this sense of nothing's happening. There's just a lot of waiting. Waiting for what? Earth signs. There's something here that's not quite time for you. Now, new moon, what could you be telling earth signs that they need to wait for? Well, that's the waiting, temperance. That's your divine timing right there. Patience. Patience for what? I feel like there's something you're not supposed to know right now. Something that's been driving you a little nutty. Oh, poor earth signs. Poor earth signs. Three of Wands. You've been trying to create something. You've been trying to move ahead, but it's not time. You're not supposed to know where you're going next. Okay, why does the new moon need you to know this? New moon. Well, if that's not what they're supposed to be focused on, what is collective supposed to be focused on? You might resonate with the air sign reading. And I'll say it again. I've said it for all the groups. If you're still looking to manifest with this moon, you have until October 24th. Spirit said that's the last day you have to work with this new moon energy, okay? I feel like this is partially because you're at a crossroads. There's something here that you're not allowed to make a decision on yet because you would move too quickly. So there's some information that has to come to you before you can make a choice. And what does the new moon need you to know? This is vague. Can you get a little more specific? No. They're like, yeah, no. All right. Well, earth signs. It's funny, I said you'd resonate with the air sign message, and here we had two swords cards coming out. Page of Swords and the Knight of Swords, and that's building up to something, isn't it? There's something that is coming to fruition in a divinely orchestrated way, in divine timing. Why are you trying to rush this? I can just see you feeling like you're going out of your mind. Because there's something. What is this? I think the time factor of something that you're trying to create is frustrating you. Mm. For some of you, this is needing to focus on healing your mother wounds. Yeah. Because this thing that wants to come in for you, you will only, I'm hearing, handle it with the proper care. When you honor your truths. Now, what is this here? There's something that feels like it's going to be too good to be true that you're going to be like, oh, no, nope. But that's also partially, yeah. Why is this feeling like such a reach, you guys? Uh, this new opportunity is here to bring you to your next soul stage. But you haven't closed out some of the cycles yet around your mother wounds. And so it's like you're trying to reach for the next opportunity with the 10 wands on your back. Because I'm just seeing you be like, you're like, just under this, like, please, please, I'm trying. But you physically can't reach it because you're underneath all of this heavy stuff that you're not supposed to still be carrying. So you have to let this go. You have to face your mother wounds and honor them. Honor the feelings when they come up in your body. And I know it's scarier, but it's not as scary as you're thinking it is. Your thinking is making you avoid these things. And that's why the thought process is needing to change. Manifest clarity. This could be about the things your mom taught you, a mother figure taught you, or maybe their absence taught you, whether that was physically absent, emotionally absent, or even abusive. Whatever this was, this is, I feel like there's a aspect of this that their wounding that is having free reign in your psyche right now. And your body has been trying to get you to pay attention to this truth. But you've been avoiding it. Yep. right? We're moving up here, which means I'm getting closer. I'm getting warmer. We had the Page of Swords, we have the Knight of Swords, and now the Queen of Swords came out, which means that this, your mental body, your intelligence is needing to catch up to where your emotions and passions lie right now. Okay? Yeah. Interesting. Seems to be a heavy emphasis on reparenting here with the King of Pentacles, but this could also be someone in your life that represents a King of Pentacles attitude and mindset to you. Then we had the Six of Swords. So again, creating the mental peace for yourself, because it can until you can really do that by releasing this stuff. Is this a past life regression I'm hearing for some of you? You need a past life regression? You can book that with me. The link's in the description box below to my website. For some of you, this is just needing to have an honest conversation with yourself to stop avoiding some of these truths, not just to sit with it, not just to say, God, take it away. This is about you owning it, owning your role in not accepting your power, not accepting your voice or the authority that you now have in your own life. This is about you answering to yourself now, earth signs. But not because you're obligated to, but because your vision is actually something that you want and you deserve that. You deserve to have what you want. And you deserve to be committed and consistent with it. And you deserve to enjoy the things that you want. Yeah, wow. 10 of Cups. I'm waiting for this King of Swords to come out. What else do you need to know before you can reach that conclusion? It's not just a conclusion, but it's like it's a clearing, a healing, and a graduation. Okay, it's not what I expected. I think part of this is trusting your intuition more. Part of this is trusting your creativity. It's letting yourself want things without shame. So this was a lot of shame. Okay. Healing shame. Wow. Okay. Healing shame. Shame. Shame around dreaming big. Shame around believing in yourself and believing in your vision. Shame around your desires, your passion, your creativity. Shame around your talents and your gifts. Shame around your intuition. Healing from the gaslighting. Uh-huh. Healing from the people who made you feel like you were too much. That might be a mother wound. That might be a father wound. It might be a social circle wound from growing up. Wherever that comes from, we got some mommy issues tied to it. Yeah. I think you absorbed a lot of people's fear. Fear of you, but also just fear in their own lives. Fear of their own things. That's interesting. Some of you absorbed your parents' fear in relationships. You're highly sensitive people, you're empaths. You take on everything. There is no excluding what there's no limit to the things that you take on from other people before you become aware of what it means to be an empath and you start setting boundaries. There's no limit to the things that you've taken on, which is why every single time you call your power back, you are called to deep, deep periods of rest because literally you are purging so much out of your body at a cellular level, literally in your DNA. Literally in your DNA. Okay? Yeah. Some of you gotta scream these truths. Some of you guys need to cry. Some of you need to, wow, understand that the things that you want are also the things that God wants for you. The Lovers in Judgment. The things that you want are things that God wants for you. Now, from that lens, you think about the fact that you want to have a stable romantic partner. God wants that for you too. You want to never have to worry about money again. God wants that for you too. You want to have a successful business or a successful career in whatever it is that you want. God wants that for you too. But do you believe it yet? You're still holding on to the fear of breaking off of herd mentality. It's just a lot of fear around being a black sheep, around being misunderstood, around doing things differently, breaking the mold here. You have a lot of fear about this. But what if you implicitly believed exactly that God was going to make you successful at these things? Do you believe that God wants the best for you? I'm still waiting for this King of Swords. I'm not going anywhere until we get this King of Swords out here, Spirit. So what's it gonna take? What's it gonna take? Just as well. Unwavering faith. It's gonna take unwavering faith. Ace of Cups, Two of Swords, the World. It's gonna take unwavering faith. Mm. Yeah. Four of Swords. Did I say Four of Swords? Four of Swords was here. Okay, fine. Fine. You have to trust the timing of this, okay? This cycle's not supposed to be completed yet because there's more to learn after you get through this part. But we only have so much time in this reading, all right? We have the Four of Cups, the King of Wands, and then the Ace of Swords. And who peeking out on the bottom of the deck? The Moon. The Moon, okay? You're already doing better than you think. And healing your relationship to your wants, your relationship to your desires is going to unlock the next lesson for you before you can complete this cycle with your mental orientation. Okay? I want to say that's a message, but I'm really mad that the King of Swords didn't come out. I gotta tell you. But I'm not in charge. I'm just the messenger. Okay? They're like, just leave it there. All right? That's the message. I love you, and I'll see you in the next one, folks.